Hello, beautiful Aquarius. This is Mary Ellen coming to you once again from Moonrise Cottage for your June 2018 Soul Tarot reading. And you are looking at the image of the cards that came out from the spirit realm when I sat to do your reading today. Very exciting, really beautiful. For those that are new, welcome. I use the beautiful Celtic Wisdom Tarot deck, and we have a very exciting journey. These readings build upon each other month to month, describing the story of our soul destiny and the journey we take as the prophecy that is meant to unfold here on the earth because of the soul journey that you're on comes forward in its unique way for your energy set point. So, thank you for all of you who are returning subscribers and viewers. Please, everybody, remember to like and share and subscribe. I forget to say that all the time. Pardon me. My website is right below the video. You can click on it, and I'm going to try to start putting on some spirits calling it clickbait. That's what it really is, I guess. You know, some of those icons that'll pop up on the screen, you can just click on it. It'll take you to the website. You can subscribe. I'm new at figuring all that stuff out, but I decided it was time to push myself forward. So let's jump into the cards. I have a very exciting story. As you know, Uranus transited into an earth sign, joining together with Pluto, stationed in the first house of Capricorn. We now have the incredible energy of Uranus streaming into the earthly realm to help this transformation that was prophesied for 2018 come forward. And we saw it in your cards last month, and we're going to see some more about that story this month. Yes, it's shocking change. It's all in a moment, Spirit says, the Big Bang kind of thing. And certainly I've been experiencing that in my life. When I'm done with the cards, I'll tell you the little story about why your reading was delayed and what's been going on at Moonrise Cottage, in case you didn't know. Okay? So it's a story, my Uranus, my intersection with Uranus energy, Spirit says. So beautiful Aquarius, guys and girls are so awesome. Look at the fire energy in this reading. First of all, Spirit says. So remember as I go through the reading, when I touch on the cards and explain the meanings of the cards, you'll be able to see how they align together and the crisscross and the swirl of the energy. Remember to look at the vertical columns. Remember to look at the horizontal rows and how the energy moves in all of these directions and aligns with itself in order to create the chord of energy that is at the center of the reading and your experience as a human being and as a soul entity journeying here on the earth. Remember also to look at the bottom corners and follow the energy upward diagonally to the opposite corner on the top in order to understand something a little deeper. So let's jump in. The first card off the top, beautiful Aquarius, is the theme from Spirit, that which Spirit wants to speak about. So when I sit down with the deck and I do my meditation and I prepare for the reading, a lot goes on here prior to the cards coming out. I always ask, what would you like to talk about? What's the theme? What's going on this month? Please help me understand through the illustrations of the cards, and then the messages come through. So look at that. So, you know, this month, because of the transit of Uranus last month into Taurus, there's a lot of fire energy, obviously. Spirit's talking about the radiation of the pure light of the sun and all things connected with that. And of course, for you, you're standing on a new foundation, a new skill set emerging. And that's the theme, the light of the reading that we're going to be talking about as we go through. What sits to the left of that is the card that represents your standing, your being, your energy under the light of this theme, which is all about the bringing forward of a new foundation, skill sets, because of the fire energy, you know, using fire as a transitory agent. This is a major arcana card. The Perfecter of Energy is the last card in the major arcana of this deck. We are at both an ending point, this is the ending of a cycle, of the bringing forward of the moment when something new can emerge. So those two cards together, very powerful. We see the sacred spiral, a chakra awakening. The breastplate indicates a full year. There are 4 seasons, and the sacred swastika, the sacred swirl of the power of feminine energy. If you don't know anything about that, there are videos on YouTube that you can look at about this very ancient symbol that has been utilized across many cultures for many eons. It's about the turning of the sacred feminine, and it's something I've been talking about a lot. Spirit's streaming through to me. I'm going to talk a little bit about the royal wedding that happened in May, in the beginning, middle, right at the same time, not exactly on the date, but at the same time, within the same energetic moments as the station of Uranus, which I think happened right in the middle of May. So you're going to be on a journey, and Spirit says you've been on this journey to perfect your energy, and you have arrived into this place. We see the triple spiral at the root chakra as well, and there's the sacred cauldron, and all the tools a sacred warrior would need from the Celtic traditions: a sword, a shield, the spear, and the bowl of creation. It's really beautiful that this is the energy pattern in which you exist in this moment, coming through May and June, with Uranus sending a steady stream of the pure light of love energy coming to us in the form of that pattern. Spirit's talking about the element of uranium. You know, there's a lot associated with uranium in the realm of homeopathic medicine. So Spirit's talking about that. If you want to look that up, you can look up on the internet uranium, homeopathy, and you can read something about people who carry this energy pattern. It's about being clairvoyant. It's about being very powerful in a certain way, about having knowledge. And we see the revelation of knowledge as the first card on the human realm in your walk this month. See that? Again, Spirit's talking about the sun energy, the pure light of the sun, and what is being revealed to you, the sacred knowledge of what it is to make a shift and a transition. This warrior lived a long time, and at the end of his days, he did not go through a normal death process. He simply began to shapeshift. Elk is a signification of having stamina for a very long journey. And emerging here, coming across the waters of shift and change and transformation in the moments when Uranus stations into an earth sign to assist Pluto to bring forward the changes that are meant to come here, the pure light of the sun. And in these moments of Uranus, it's going to be here, I think, for 8 years. Much knowledge will be revealed. And because of the shocking nature and the sudden change that Uranus brings that assists Pluto, when those two are together, it is a powerhouse of a dance. And they are in earth signs. And in these moments, this is the type of experience that you will have because you are an Aquarius, another leader, going forward with all the creative energy and inclination that you have inside of you. It's really exciting to me. And sitting right next to that, we see the imaginer of harmony. We see the notation of the full moon. I tried to get the readings out on the full moon, and I just have been flummoxed here with my own Uranus shift and change going on. So I couldn't do it. But Spirit has been talking for a while, as you know, if you've been following along, about the moon energy. There we are. Beautiful. And you know, there's a trine all month long. Jupiter and Neptune. This dreamy quality, the ability to travel deep into the mystical realm, to reach any destination you'd like to go, that sacred vessel. if you get in and you put your hands on the oars, it will take you to whatever destination you can't imagine. And the full name of the card is the Imaginer of Harmony. And there you are diving deep into the sacred waters. It's a beautiful unfolding this month. I love it. So we now are just past the full moon. The moon is waning and working its way toward the new moon that is coming in a couple of weeks. So pay attention to those cycles. Keep a little journal, if you will. What you're feeling, what you're thinking, what is being revealed to you. What is it that you can imagine? That the change that could come with the beautiful fire energy, the pure light of love energy streaming onto this planet through the earth sign of Taurus. It's a phenomenal moment. And of course, more fire energy sitting next to the Imaginer of Harmony, the beautiful Queen of Art. This woman sits enthroned in the sacred spiral of destiny. There it is. It's amazing to me the way the cards are here and how they are aligned. So her throne is the throne of change. Shift and change. The birth, life, death, birth cycle. She is extremely creative. She is very wise and compassionate. She sits next to the sacred fire of creation with her hand open, ready to bring forward and receive the gifts that come with her incredible ability to be creative. So, it's a powerhouse of alignment right at the start of this reading. Look at the alignment of the Queen of Art and the Foundation of Skill. Both indications of, Spirit's saying the solar flares of Uranus, the shocking change, the shift that's going to come is going to be about the creativity of that which we can imagine. Because our energy has been perfected and you stand on this foundation, knowledge is going to be revealed to you. Something very sacred. So that's why I'm saying keep a journal. You don't have to write a novel, just any inspiration that comes to you, whatever you can imagine. That is the impulse that's going to take you forward in your part of this tapestry of energy that we've woven. Spirit says take a look for a moment before we move on at the center vertical column of cards. Every single one of them is a major arcana card. At the core of your being, there's a lot of power this month, streaming through to you and churning through you, Spirit says, in order to bring the shift and change that is coming. It's really, really beautiful. So when you look at the bottom left card and you see the transition of the energy, there you are, having perfected your energy. You've come across. Much has been revealed to you, and you have had, and you do have, stamina for this incredible journey. That energy rising through the perfecter, the place in which you inhabit, to the top right, that is the adventure of skill. On the bottom right, we see the Queen of Art, with her energy sitting at the last stage of the human walk for June. Her energy rises through the moments, Spirit says, of the perfection of your energy, the ending of the cycle that arrives in this moment. And above that, we see the signification of a new life, having been reborn. And the mystical story behind that card is not just a new life arriving and being held in the arms of the Queen of Skill. So from the Queen of Art through the Perfecter of Energy, arriving into the arms of the Queen of Skill, there's a very powerful energy movement in your cards this month. And you are going to feel it. You're going to intuit it, because at the top of the center column, we have the Dreamer, another major arcana card, the Star card. phenomenal. In any way you look at these cards, it is an incredible story that is unfolding. So the Queen of Hearts transitions her energy into the bridge card, that which ties your human walk to the spirit journey that your soul is on. And it also is a very powerful mystical card that is the Queen of Battle, who sits atop the sacred warrior who has shape shifted because of the stationing of Uranus, has come into the revelation of the sacred knowledge that this shape shifting has brought. Look at that. Beautiful feminine patterned energy of the mystical realm, the shamaness, here to accompany you in your human walk, this very profound human walk that you're having because of the new energy of the sun, of Uranus, the pure light streaming into our heart chakras. It is this battle with which you are engaged as an Aquarius, and she is here to help you make the transition back and forth to the mystical realm, which clearly you are doing if you look at the rest of the cards. You are going back and forth. And you know, I just did the reading for Gemini, very similar. So I did all the readings this month in cohorts, which I haven't done before, but Spirit urged me to bring them out this way, partly because of the stationing of Uranus. So I and my spirit guides are suggesting that you go and look at the cohort readings for the other air signs, because you're going to see some common threads and you'll understand. People say, Spirit says, you know, those people who are aligned with similar types of energy. Standing above the beautiful Queen of Battle, we have the Queen of Scale. So, you know, that left-hand line in and of itself, amazing. Look at that. The revelation of knowledge because you have made this transition. Having perfected your energy, you now arrive into the realm of the Queen of Battle, the battle between the earthly realm and the heavenly realm, in order to bring us into our alignment, the perfection of our energy, reflected. That new life, that transition, that shape shifting. The Queen of Battle connecting the dots for us. And we see above the Queen of Scale, who receives a new life in her arms, swaddled in the beautiful blue blanket. Spirit's calling it robes of transformation. Everything about the left side row has, Spirit says, is speaking to the type of transition you're making. So this is a very interesting card. Yes, it's about new life coming through and being received in a certain way. And we see the ravens, right? And the crow medicine, Spirit says, again, another indicator of the mystical realm. The deeper aspect of the story is about a child who was born and lost. I won't go into the long story because it's kind of a long story, but it is about returning and being revealed, and the joy with which one is received, if you will, in a time of transformation. So again, with those notions in mind, look at that left vertical column. It's really astounding to me. So right away, with this new life, having shapeshifted, having come through the energy, the shamanistic feminine portal, the very next step that your soul is contemplating, if you will, and moving through, look at the top, look at this card. This is a major arcana card that is the Dreamer of Growth. Look at the reflection of the top line of cards and the bottom line of cards. That is the soul journey reflected as you walk across the earth. And the center row is kind of the crux of the matter, Spirit always says. But look at that, Aquarius. You are going deep on the cycles of the moon because of the energy that you are able to receive because you are an air sign. It's fascinating to me to see how the stationing of Uranus has affected the different energy patterns within the air signs, particularly really beautiful, very fiery, almost like the being ignited, right? Very gorgeous. Look at that. That's the star card in the traditional tarot. Here in Soul Tarot, it's about a moment of brilliance. It's about genius. It's about the joining of your soul pattern and your human walk, being able to see both sides across the veil, to manifest, to be deep in the mystical realm, rooted there, to bring forward destiny, because what you can dream, you can manifest. That is the place where your soul is at. And again, look at the cards on the human realm. You are directly in alignment with your soul journey. And that is why Spirit was talking about June as the fulcrum, the turning point in the year. It's not just about halfway through the calendar year that we utilize, Spirit says. It's about the moment. It's about the energy. It's about the shift and change and the place into which we have evolved and emerged and transitioned. The transformation that was announced in the place where I live, with the butterfly that arrived here in March when it was still below zero, or pardon me, below freezing. So a lot of mystical things happening here on the earth. And this is your particular journey. And of course, if you're dreaming about growth, the very next thing that often happens is you go on an adventure. The adventure of skill, because you are standing on a new foundation of skill with the Queen of Art supporting this journey in your human realm. So your soul journey is setting out on a new adventure to utilize the skill set that you are developing as a soul being walking across the earth. And look, a fat little mouse, really happy, very eager, excited, well fed. It's got abundance, everything it needs to go forward into that which comes next. And of course, again, because you're an Aquarius, that which comes next is manifesting the energy of the dreamer of growth. It's amazing to me. That is a prophecy. It is the augury of art, a new beginning. And, again, manifesting that which can be imagined. It is about the beginning of happiness, the sacred flow of love energy here in this place in which we reside, Spirit says. And your ability to stand in front of the sacred cauldron and bring forward that which you can imagine as you dream the sacred dream of your soul journey. Look at that. It's astounding to me. So, my goodness gracious, just for a moment, just for fun, let's take a look at what you were doing in May as Uranus was about to transit. Look at that. The King of Skill standing over the top of the reading. And to the left of the King, we see the beautiful Woman of Skill holding the spool of destiny in her hand. And on the first card on the spirit realm was about a spirit having a sacred dialogue with you about the reintegration with the deeper self, with the soul journey. And the new moon came, and we saw the advent of a prophecy about your awakening, being able to touch the stone of your destiny and shine the light that comes through to you onto the earth, sending your soul off on the next portion of its destiny. And on the spirit realm, we see the King of Art standing sentry in order to clear away obstacles for your journey. And next to that, we had some discussion about coming into your power in order to make the soul transition that was awaiting you. And there, and the outcome, a promise, the shaper of growth, delivering you into the days of June with all the abundance that was going to be needed for this journey. It's really, it just gives me a chill. It's so beautiful. So that's it for the cards this month. If you want to stick around, I'm going to chat for a few minutes about my journey with Uranus and what's going on here. And Spirit really wants me to talk about the sacred feminine because some of the events that happened really kind of blew my mind, and the symbolism of it is so beautiful. As Spirit's talking about that in light of the Aquarius energy. So, as you know, there was a royal wedding right at the same moments, not on the same date. I think the transit was right at the center point of the month. And then a couple days later, this royal wedding happened. It was either, it may be switched around, but the Spirit says all of the same moment, within the same energy. This young woman who never would have been accepted into the royal family prior to this very moment, when Uranus comes and illuminates, revealing the sacred knowledge, the rise of return of the goddess energy, the sacred feminine, and the sacred masculine. Those energies having been transformed. How long have I been talking about it? A year and a half now? Promising. Spirit's been promising us through all the things I've been saying, and I've been praying, please, dear God, let it be true, because, you know, I'm just channeling the messages. I'm not here to be the end all and the be all. So I've been watching the pattern of all the 12 astrological signs unfold and watching us move in that direction. So all of a sudden, in a moment of shock and awe, Spirit says, we have this young woman who makes a decision to arrive at the church by her own power, alone, walk up the steps to that destiny, fully vested in her own power. The sacred, the sort of the symbol of the sacred feminine, the return of the goddess, if you will, walks into the church, gets in like halfway, I think, and then the future king comes to meet her and escort her to the altar. She's a mixed race woman. She's a commoner. She's divorced. She's an American. I mean, none of it would have happened. The other thing I love about it, that event, the preacher that she brought with her as a representation of her spiritual heritage and her cultural heritage, gave this incredible, fiery sermon about the sacred power of the fire of love energy. The whole thing, my friends started texting me and calling me and saying, did you watch that? I'm like, no, I don't care, And they were, no. This is what you've been talking about. You got to go see. And they were right. It blew my mind. So if you haven't seen it, go check out you can find some relatively short video clips of Megan arriving at the church. Phenomenal moment. It is going to change the human story, Spirit says, because it is a representation symbolically of the shift in energy and the beauty of those two young people and what they will bring forward. The Spirit's now talking about, pardon me, the spirit of Diana. There's a lot going on there. Just that, okay? So here at Moonrise Cottage, I've been here for, in a sense, almost 20 years. And it took a long time for this place to be built. I worked on it for 6 or 7 years. Much of those years very solitary, knowing some of the destiny that was coming forward. So before that process happened, I used to come up here and bushwhack through the woods and walk up the hill because I felt so drawn to this spot, almost electromagnetic energy. And there are some beautiful, probably 200-year-old trees here, towering above the property. And I used to camp out there, and I would have vision quests, and I would sit and meditate and pray. And when it came time to site the house and build here, I was very careful that they would not be disturbed. And I made it kind of a sacred vow. I'm never going to disturb these trees. We speak to each other, that kind of thing. The wildlife lives in the treetops. The hawks come and sit there and fly around the meadow and land in the trees and things like that, right? So a million reasons why I will never cut them down. Well, my Uranus moment arrived, and I have to cut them down. The process has begun. In order for me to take the next step in my development, Spirit says, like this, okay, to transition within a single lifetime to a new form, to step deeper into your destiny, things have to change. You have to come across a journey. So for me, in order to be able to welcome people into Moonrise Cottage for their own personal soul journey together with me. Spirit says, over the course of a long weekend or something like that, I can't do it unless I can manifest more electricity because I'm off the grid. So I can only make as much electricity as I have access to the sun. And those beautiful trees are standing on the south facing point in the property. And in the winter, fall and winter, the sun tracks too low. And I live here like a little mouse with almost no electricity. And I accept it, it's my choice. But you can't invite company here when you can't turn the lights on at night and I live with candles and things like that. I have to cut the trees down. And I had to be the one to be willing to come across the water of change in order to manifest what is, Spirit's talking about this card, in order to manifest what is meant to come forward for me as a being and for the sacred place that I've created. So there I am in the light of Uranus energy. When you dream about growth, what is it you dream? What comes forward? What begins to manifest? And the sudden change, the things you have to let go of, right? So what has come through in a lot of the readings is the changer of truth. And in the traditional tarot, that would be the Tower card. And it's about massive upheaval in ways that are really sudden and shocking and hurtful. So I'm grieving. I'm going through an incredible process. And I know it's the right thing. Underneath that stand of trees, there's a gigantic vein of white quartz boulders. And it's time for that energy to be revealed here in order to flow forward, to bring forward the sacred ceremony ground that exists. What an incredible process. So that's what's going on for me. Spirit's calling me a little mouse with this little mouse, right? So put some messages on the thread. I want to know what you are experiencing. I want to know about the pattern of your energy, how it experiences this change. Please share those for everyone. It helps all of us. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you for your ongoing love and support. I really do appreciate it. And I'll look forward to speaking with you next month in July. We'll be talking about eclipses, I believe. Have a wonderful month, Aquarius. Thank you very much. I will leave you with the cards.